All right, welcome everybody and Boomer Sooner. It is Wednesday, November 27th, 2024, and happy early Thanksgiving to everybody and those of you who celebrate. I know there's plenty of y'all out there who do not, as well as people I found out that they're like, it's just another day for me. I just use it to relax and catch up. So still enjoy. I hope you're enjoying your break. Joining me tonight is Swiggy, Gavin, and for the first time in a couple live streams, Sean. We'll start with Sean. Sean, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm fucking dying. That's what's happening to me right now. So,
Are you
we're
okay?
running.
Okay, let's go pause then. Is it because of health problems or for other reasons?
it might be for health reasons, but I feel like I'm fucking dying again. So, anyway, moving on to other topics.
Sure. Gavin, how are you doing tonight? Are you almost prepped for Thanksgiving?
Well, I'm kind of prepped and everything. Although I would love to basically talk to my mechanic about some issues that are going on with my truck that I want to be able to get things sorted out.
Well, luckily you don't have to drive too far anywhere with your truck, so everything's pretty local for you.
Yeah. I mean, the things are pretty local, but man, I'm going to tell you, if I would have continued driving my truck and everything, I think my engine would have been blown out because somehow there was like some. I know we've had like a small leak in my truck that I've had just for a tiny little bit and everything, and somehow I have almost no oil in my truck.
Wow, so you're only a divorce and the death of a dog away from writing your own country song.
Yeah, so I'm like thinking to myself, what the freaking hell are we just doing here? And the thing is that I took my truck to where I had service maybe about a month and a half ago or so. And I always go by the mileage and I never go over the mileage or anything. And yet I have about 1,000 miles left of my mileage, before I get it serviced and everything. And yet I'm basically getting to the point to where I almost have no oil. That's how bad it is.
It could be the age of the truck, man. At some point, it catches up where it's no longer even closer.
Now, have you replaced the oil in a while is the question.
Yeah, it was about maybe 2-3 months ago.
Oh, I was like, please say years. Please say years. Please say years.
No.
Well, there's your problem.
There's your problem.
Swiggy, how are you doing tonight, buddy? Getting ready for Thanksgiving as well?
I have made cranberry sauce a la Bart.
So you opened the can
and walked away.
Yeah.
And walked away, yeah, basically.
A Thanksgiving tradition at that point.
It just plops out in can form and just jiggles on the plate.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best cranberries. Everybody knows that.
I should put it in the fridge.
A cranberry mold.
I should put it in the fridge, but why would I listen to my mom?
That's fair. Gentlemen, we're a couple days removed from the OU crushing of Alabama on Saturday, and we all gave
everyone predicted, of course.
Absolutely, every one of all maybe two people or the people who are blind loyalists. But we're a couple days removed.
Wait a minute, Josh. I was gonna say, why did he not bring the Taco Bell? That's what I want to know. Where's my Taco Bell tacos for God's sakes?
Well, that happened after the game, so it wasn't. It wasn't a reason why. It wasn't a reason why they won. It was a celebratory mukbang that Brent Venables, his daughters, and her friends decided to have on YouTube. I truly believe there's a hidden video on YouTube of Brent Venables doing a mukbang with his daughters and her friends.
Dad called me on that, and he's like, "What? Do people really do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, Dad."
Oh, did your dad watch my video and said, "What's a mukbang?"
Yes, he did. I got a good laugh out of it.
It's the only reason you would buy $94 worth of Taco Bell, Josh. You're about to do a mukbang.
Yeah. It was just a funny call. I had to stop for a minute. I went, "How do you know that word?"
Sean,
you don't know that. And then I realized, he afterwards watching your video, I'm like,
I'm teaching you bad internet trends, and so
yep, you're corrupting the elderly of our population.
I was purposely trying to go viral with that because I figured if I have the word mukbang in my titles, more people might click on it. because it's
You
one
should
of those things, man. But it, I guess, didn't work. So
nope, you should put Skibbity Toilet, and then people would have.
yeah, exactly, dude. I'll tell you one thing real quick.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people trying to do the whole "wow, I can't believe" the reaction videos with the clickbait thumbnails. That shit doesn't. That just for anything. Like there's like the channels that try to do it for anything under the sun, almost, but for sports, and it don't work for people that just randomly do it. It's like you got to be somewhat connected to your team that people.
Are you referring? I don't mean to name drop.
I'm not picking. No, this is not anyone specific. I see multiple videos. I see multiple videos do this, and they get like 200 views because it's just
clickbait. Yeah,
well, it's not that it's clickbait. It's just that I don't think it works as easily. It's like, can you believe Oklahoma beat Alabama? Who are you? Why? What? I think they're like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I think it works for me because I've been doing this for a while. And there's people like, I got to see this motherfucker's reaction. That's why I always do the fake thumbnail.
Yeah.
Every time. I always do the fake thumbnail. We're like, what?
Which have been pretty classic. The past.
Some of them have not been fake though. Like some
That's
of them
the
are
sad part.
some of them were like the first thing you see.
Yeah.
It's like the Houston game, the Tennessee game,
the South Carolina game. I resorted to memes. That's what I put as my thumbnail. Those always seem to get the biggest clicks from people whenever I upload videos and stuff.
That's not necessarily a bad idea either, but
it's got to be one too that's funny. Like my best one when I used a meme was when it was OU Texas in 2022, and it's the one where everyone's going up and giving the guy a hug, and it's like the last one gives him a hug and then like suplex him. Yeah, that's the best one I've had with just teams taking going to OU while we had Brent as like first or second year head coach or whatever. So
I did the Mary Jane evaporation meme for the hat. Like
I laughed at that one. I was surprised you didn't go with your other video. I was really looking forward to that one.
Which one?
The one where you were gonna have like the voiceover of "It's time for me to go."
I was not in the mood to put that much effort into it, so I just did it. So I basically did the regular Spider-Man meme for Twitter instead.
The funny part is everybody gets that. I mean.
Well, especially
everybody can do it. Even your grandparents couldn't even know that.
Well, I mean, you had to have grown up watching the cartoon in the 90s in order to get the joke. But there's a lot of
people who have.
Yes.
Exactly.
With like, I forget the dude's name, but the guy who voiced Spider-Man gave the most blood-curdling scream of his career.
Christopher Lee or whatever his name is. Yeah.
I can never decide if X-Men or Spider-Man was better. I like both
X-Men.
of them.
For the series, for the cartoon series, it was X-Men.
I mean, they were both good. I remember getting hyped when they had the Venom arc the first time on the show.
Well, nothing beats Venom honking the horn on the side, driving down the road.
That was very Simpsons-esque when that happened. Earlier, I agree with you, Swiggy. The earlier ones were better, but there was so much.
Lady Deathstrike with X-Men was great too.
That was good.
I could do it. In fact, screw out you football. Let's just spend the entire time remembering some episodes.
I mean, depends on which series, because Swiggy, whenever you get a chance, read the book called Previously on X-Men, and the creators for the crossover for X-Men and Spider-Man talk about like they were brought on to produce and direct that two-parter because it was that batshit insane on the Spider-Man side, where X-Men, they did not basically let Stan Lee have a say. They let him have all the say on the other side, and they said it was absolutely.
Stan Lee walked in and said, "I created Wolverine, damn it." It's like, Stan, shut up, I'm on a roll.
And Stripperella.
Yeah,
actually, he didn't create Wolverine, but it's that.
No, he did not. But I mean, he wanted a big creative say. But in that book, they said he tried to force his way into the X-Men series, and the lead
Jack Kirby's wife. I said,
yeah. But I mean, it was basically the director of it, Eric, and his wife Julia, they said, you brought us on to direct this. Either we're directing this or Stan is directing this. And to Fox Kids' credit, they said, all right, well, you are the directing of it. And Stan basically got pissed of, you'll see it will fail. And then it didn't. And then they said they never really saw him again.
Anyway,
So,
why isn't Oklahoma in the playoff discussion? God damn it, we beat Bama. What the fuck?
I know we beat a quality team in Bama. It's because Bama got a quality loss.
We rushed the field with 28 seconds left because we were trying to build up credit for the next time we do it. We're trying to like get credit for like 20 seconds left. We good.
So speaking of that, I actually have a story for you. My coworker works security for the OU games,
and he was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. I said, so yo, walk me through what happened. He's like, they told us to try to stop him. I said, I make minimum wage. No.
God, that
reminds me. Oh my God.
Yeah, so, he was serious. And he was serious. I'm not going to name him or anything.
I was at an ECW wrestling show one time, and security was trying to take away someone's like sign or whatever. And like, and the crowd was like chanting like shit at the security, like, you know, heckling them, and then they started to chant minimum wage. That was a ruthless ECW crowd I was a part of.
That's way good.
I was underage and by myself at that show. Great job, Mom. Dropped me off at the wrestling show. She had no fucking clue what ECW was. God rest her soul, my mother. But anyway.
That's a great story, Sean. Taking back to you let your son watch Beetlejuice, but you didn't let him watch Nightmare Before Christmas because same reason. So, but no,
that wasn't me. That was you, right?
That was me. Yeah, I'm comparing it to the same story.
No, my mother was horribly responsible and dropped me off at an ECW show, a pay-per-view even, where the wrestlers would like go through the crowd and fight each other, and nothing bad would ever happen to me, of course. I actually have spotted myself in that crowd now. I can spot myself.
You spotted baby Sean.
Yes. So I have 2 shots. I'm on an ECW pay-per-view and in an episode of Raw where they get a close-up of me with a shot with a sign. So
I'm very curious. I almost need to ask you off camera. Show me.
I posted the old. You've seen the old Raw where I posted it a bunch of times before.
I'll have to see it again. But back to the football stuff. So I asked him what was the plan when they rushed the field. He said, well, first they tried to tell us we need to stop it, and he said I wasn't doing that minimum wage. Then he said they all universally decided as security of we're just going to let them work it out of their system. An hour later was when everyone kind of started to disperse. But he's like, I had no problem with it. He said the biggest thing, and he stuck to it, that they said they needed to do, protect the visiting locker room.
Oh,
that was a directive. Basically, do not let the fans or anything in there. And he said, yes, we did listen to that. And they said, if you have to use force as necessary, use your force to protect the visiting.
So they went to the
you should. Yeah, you should.
Fuck the home team. Let's protect Bama. And
they were already, because they knew that if the crowd rushed, they could not protect these players. The players are still a priority.
You got
keep them on the field. If they want to be on the field, that's their own business. But we weren't the only ones either. The Roughnecks also said about 7 minutes before the game ended, they pulled the ponies and left the stadium. They said we weren't going to even get into that debacle.
Smart.
The fans trying to tip over the wagon or the ponies.
I mean, considering the fact the fans that ran on the field spent more time in the end zone than Alabama that night. So.
I mean, what? Alabama spent all this money to fly out to OU to kick a field goal and then fly back. That's what they did. But, yeah, he said they tried in security to stop some of them, but even he got trampled. He's like, nope, not even trying. Not going to even worth it. Nope. So
all it takes is one guy to start running, and then everyone else starts following. Because you can. Yeah. What makes me proud. I'm kind of proud it happened the way it did, because it shows that we're not used to fucking doing this shit. So like, wait, what do you mean we have to wait till there's 000 on the clock? Because I think they thought that the clock was going to run out. Are we good?
Yeah.
And then like Kirk Fowler, Herb Street are just judging us on national television.
Yeah.
They were just like there were so many people disgusted. Like there were Bama fans like, oh, how classless. It's like shut the fuck up.
Oh man, dude,
I mean, come
beat a
on.
2-loss Bama
Herb
team. It's
Street,
like
Herbie and Fowler were both disappointed as well. Like I watched that game after the live stream. And thank you again for inviting me to your live stream, Sean. That was fun.
yes.
They were like pissed that we were beating up on Bama. Like their narrative was just completely destroyed. I'm like, guys.
My narrative was destroyed. I thought Bama was good enough to win the national title. So fuck you, Bama, for losing. Seriously.
They're going to revive Nick Saban. Nick Saban's rolling in his grave right now with this Bama team.
Well,
but he's still alive. I know.
No, it's more like he's just
no. Nick Saban.
He's annoying. He's annoying people as Airbnb. That's
no. Nick Saban sleeps in a coffin. You know, he's a vampire.
That's right.
He's also he's a day walker too. I want people to get that. So that's why you see him outdoors in the day. So
that makes a lot of sense.
He still sleeps in a coffin though. No, but it's like I've been like, you know, look, I mean, I wasn't here the other day when you reviewed the game or whatever, but like look, I've been upfront about this with people. I know there's people who said, you got to believe, man. There was a handful of people out there said, man, just have faith. They're going to do it. But they didn't have any reasons why it was going to happen. They were just like, have blind faith. So anyone who truly believed deep down that it was going to happen the way it did is lying through their fucking teeth.
Yeah.
No, I don't even like. I knew the players were hyped and they wanted to like play well and win this game. And defensively, I believe they were capable of doing that, just based on the talents and who was coaching them.
The result we saw on the field was what kind of all of us in this room expected them to play throughout the year. Maybe not the lights out defensive performance of the past 20 years, but we expected them like to be able to do something like that. None of them, as you said, none of us expected that performance at all.
Well, Josh, how many times have we talked about we need this defense to force turnovers and maybe score to win a game? And if you don't have those scores,
Sean,
and you flip the Ryan Williams, you know, illegal touching play, we're having a different conversation today, perhaps. So,
Sean, we went into halftime. I thought two things. One, I'm not moving from my spot, and my cat's not moving from my spot. Well, and one more thing, I guess, since that counts as two. I was like, we need a pit. We need one, maybe two pick sixes to win it. Just give me two pick sixes after halftime. We got one.
I wasn't saying shit. My whole thing was I ain't saying shit.
Oh, I was playing. I was playing Space Marine. I was playing Space Marine with the game kind of on in the background. Just be as like I did, just like okay, just so I could change it. Just so I could change it if it got too ugly too fast. I'd have some options. But I was like, I just kept playing the game until it was over.
Yeah. On Monday, I had so many people walk into my office and said, "Do you know? Like, you have info, right? You knew this outcome was going to be." I said, "No, guys, I did not. I did not expect this. There was no." And I explained to each of them. Including the one security officer, he's like, "Were you disappointed that?" And I said this, Sean, on Monday. He asked, "Were you disappointed you did not attend the game?" I said, "In retrospect, sure, everyone's gonna say." I said, "I'm not, because give me one reason, just one. You work the home games, one reason to give me this team is going to do that on Saturday." I'm like, "I'll be waiting forever," because there wasn't a reason. There was nothing you could point to. Sure, maybe like Old Miss the first half, but even then,
Drew Pine at quarterback at Mizzou.
Right.
I said, what the fuck?
Yeah, I said you have to understand the team that played on last Saturday, was not the team that showed up to Missouri. I said Brent saved his job, such and such, to my.
I feel like RoboCop holding up a meal after the gas station blew up and going, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Who are you? Oh!
Yeah. I mean, we have no idea who showed up on Saturday. I said, I'll take it. It took us 10 games to figure it out, but maybe this is truly Brent's turning point for this team and going forward with it. He saved his job.
Yes, he did. Well, and he also saved Michael Fasisi. Because he did.
Yes.
Michael
Yes, he did.
Fasusi is more than likely. It's like, and like Josh McCuistion, I'm paraphrasing, but he said it basically best. He's like, he says, I think Michael Fasusi needed a reason to believe, and he didn't want to like decommit from OU, but the reason he was looking around because shit looked like it was going south, and Bill may not be here anymore. That's a big deal,
and you cannot blame him. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and I said before, I don't blame him for looking around. He has to, like, Mom doesn't want him going to Texas because Texas pissed her the fuck off. And guess who did when he took a trip over the weekend to Texas? Guess who didn't go with him? Mom.
See, I've heard two different stories. I heard
Mom did not go.
I also heard she did go to Austin.
No, she did not go.
Okay.
Mom did not go. But he spent the whole ride home from Austin not talking about or tweeting about his great visit to Texas after they beat Kentucky. He's on his phone watching OU beat the hell out of Alabama.
Yeah.
And he's tweeting out Boomer. So, and then you got Texas people saying, we don't feel like they knocked it out of the park with him. So my only question is,
because first off, too, not to interrupt you, Sean.
Well, no, real quick. This is real quick.
Go ahead.
The real question is he still going to College Station on Saturday, or is that done? So that's my only question.
He is. I think he is, but I don't blame him.
Fine, but
I don't blame him because the ticket price for the average ticket in the nosebleed section is $1,065. I don't blame him for wanting to go to that game. I would go to that game. Like,
I'm pretty sure the dude is not paying for that ticket.
No, he's not. Like,
you're not getting a 5-star to come to your game and having him sit in the fucking nosebleeds. His ass going to be on the sideline.
Yeah, I think he's going to go to.
Hey, what's our 5-star visitor? Oh, he's way up there, motherfucker! What? Go get him!
Yeah, literally.
I mean,
you fucking loser, yell leaders, get your ass up there and yell lead his ass down to the sideline. Here's his fucking pass.
But I do agree. I think if OU did not win the game Saturday, we would have lost Fasusi. I think we would have lost Bill as well.
Well,
I think now he's gonna stay. I do think it does still depend what happens at LSU on Saturday, just as a good faith.
No, I disagree. I keep hearing people say LSU is this or that. Look, we going down to Baton Rouge with house money. We got our bowl game. We showed the world we could beat a really good team. And look, I'm not going to walk in Saturday night expecting to beat LSU. I know LSU is like down on their luck and they're just as pissy and moany as we've been this year. They don't feel good about things. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. They struggled to beat Vandy, which, a lot of teams have done this year. But I'm not going to go like we can't go down there with the same game plan and beat LSU. That's a different. Like Nussmeier is not the type of dude he's gonna throw the ball. He throws the ball a lot better than Jalen Milroe. Now defensively, LSU, you could run the ball. You might be able to run the ball down their throat potentially. So
they couldn't even stop the quarterback run of all things too, and that's
So I think I think the offense has a chance to do something. Now we've got some availability reports where Javonte Barnes is probable, so there's good news there. Adds a little bit depth to the running game.
Yeah.
Brennan Thompson is questionable, which is shocking to me. I have no idea what it is. I'm guessing it was a sprain. Hopefully, if the only reason he's questionable, it has to be a sprain because it can't be anything else. But I don't expect him. Andrew Anthony is questionable. He's actually questionable. He's not out. He's questionable. And here's my thing on it.
Go at it.
I'm not gonna smoke any hopium. It's the last game of the year.
I choose to smoke all the hopium.
I am not smoking any hopium.
I'm going to.
You can have my share. You go ahead.
We beat Bama. If there's ever been a time to smoke hopium, now is the time.
No, it's not even about winning or losing. It's just I'm talking about having him available to play or be effective. It's like, no, I'm past that point. If you want to come back and play the bowl game, whatever we go to is going to be interesting. I know people have this like wish list of like 1 or 2 opponents. Can we play USC? Guys, we're not going to play USC.
Can we play
No.
Nebraska? Well, there's
We're-
people who were wish casting. We're going to the Las Vegas Bowl. I'm like, you don't understand, guys. There is a pecking order
We're not going to.
in the SEC. There's not a we're gonna random pick like the Big 12.
If you think we ain't going to Tampa to play the fucking Gasparilla bullshit bowl, and I hate to
yeah,
break
there
bad
are people
news.
who have convinced themselves if we beat LSU on Saturday, we're going to the, Las Vegas. I said we're not.
Do not send this
South
team,
Carolina,
whatever you do, do not send this team to Orlando. Keep them the
No.
fuck away from this city, goddammit. I don't want this team anywhere near Orlando. Nothing good happens to my team when they fucking play in Orlando, all right? So, this, like, whether it's like the basketball team last year, no. It's just like, stay the fuck away from Orlando. Only the softball team was able to overcome that fucking curse, all right? They swept the Knights. So, I just... Look, LSU is wearing their alternates, so we'll be wearing our road whites. I'm a little disappointed because I wanted to wear our home jerseys for that one, but it's like it is what it is.
But they very rarely do that, so I mean that does to me that is some credulence that they are taking.
They're like 8-2 since 07 wearing those, so it's like a once a year thing, kind of sort of. I think they've worn them a couple times this year already. I think they've already lost in them this year. Now that I think about it,
I think this uniform combination they have a big losing record.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's not. It's not a losing record. They're like 8-2 since 07.
Really, I thought that was the one where they had a losing record in it. But
no, like you know, like the Sooner Tracker Twitter, like there's the LSU equivalent, and he confirmed what the record was wearing that combo.
Oh, cool.
It's like 8-2 since 07. So, listen, I'd be more than happy to add a loss to that record. Because look, you find a way to go down there and win, it's a big deal. I don't care how good or bad LSU is. You win a game under the lights down there, it's special. And that's another recruiting boom you can put on your notch on your belt. For
correct.
What the opportunity is here is that you were building on having your worst season in OU football in the last 30-something years. And you can say in your worst season, you beat Alabama and LSU back-to-back.
Well, our schedule ended up
That would be neat!
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, we had probably the toughest schedule in the SEC, I think, out of any of the other teams in the
top 25 teams in the current CFP poll.
Gavin, they said dating back to 2019, they said you had the single toughest SEC schedule this year. On the flip side, Texas has had the weakest schedule since.
I'm just saying, Texas wins against top 25, 0. OU wins versus top 25, 2.
Now, Josh, I was completely unaware that Texas has played a weak schedule. You say I'm unaware of this.
Yes, they have played a weak schedule, Sean.
Really?
Well,
they at least have like 4 or 5 top 25 wins, right? Current teams, right?
No.
According to Mr. Swiggy, not 2 seconds ago, no, they have a whopping.
Well, fuck Mr. Swiggy. I want to know what the poll says. So they clearly have one. They got at least one top 25 win, right?
No, they don't.
Not one?
No.
Well, Oklahoma doesn't have any because they knocked Alabama out of the top 25 completely, right? So they suck now because they lost.
No, OU has not one, but 2. Both of them being waves.
A Crimson Tide and a Green Wave. So we own the fuck. Not only do we own the state of Alabama, we own the motherfucking ocean.
Yep.
But
we own the motherfucking ocean.
I don't make the rules, but yes, that is correct.
So,
but you're right. No,
we're about to put fucking tariffs on the goddamn ocean, motherfuckers.
I'm just spitting facts here. It's Texas fans. Texas can say whatever they want, but they need to win. They need the A&M win.
Here's the thing. With all the chaos that happened this past weekend, I think if they lose, they're still in. But man,
I agree.
They're gonna
be on the road.
The next 9 days, they will be sweating a little bit. Like they will be.
They're in no matter what.
You just never know.
I think they're. Yeah, I think they're in no matter what. But my thing is, they half. But like, for them, Look, we love to talk about signature loss. Love to talk about good losses,
Quality
bad losses.
losses.
What's Texas's signature win this year?
It's gonna be us when we beat LSU.
Swiggy, didn't you know Texas survived the SEC onslaught? That's their signature win.
They beat Mississippi State, motherfuckers.
The biggest thing.
Don't forget about Kentucky now.
The biggest thing Texas did this year was when their fans threw stuff on the field. That's it. That's the highlight of their season. Their fans throwing stuff on the field.
You know, that was the same referee crew that reffed the game on Saturday in Norman.
Really?
Yeah. That's what they brought that up with the Ryan Williams when the Ryan Williams TD got called back. And it's like now when you were with me in the stream when that happened live, I'm like, what, did he step out of bounds or something?
Yeah,
because when they said illegal, whenever I think of illegal touching, I think of guys going out of bounds and coming back in and then being the first to catch it. But no, it was like he was covered up, and apparently according to Gabe and Teddy, like it was a bullshit call, and they totally say, hey, that was a bad call. But my favorite narrative. Oh, of course. My favorite thing is I've watched over the past few days of people talking because the story is that Alabama lost. It has nothing to which I totally understand because we fucking suck this year. Let's just be honest. But it's all about Alabama losing.
Correct.
But I love hearing people talk about Reese Davis was so upset that play got called back because they're so in love with with Williams because oh my God, he wanted to fondle himself during that fucking ESPN video podcast while talking about that play. Oh, it'd be highlight of the year. They were so upset. They were so upset that they got cucked.
Williams makes great catches. He's
a legit superstar.
He's
awesome.
He's going to be a superstar, but that's the thing. He's still 17. He's raw.
It's going to be great when Eli Bowen shuts him down again next year in Tuscaloosa.
Exactly, and to his credit, Gabe and Teddy said it was the wrong call. I've seen now other reffing crews, if you do the search and stuff, they say no, it was the right call. It was the wrong person called on it though. So who knows at this point?
It was one
the only way. Hang on.
It was one of those.
That can't be true. If it's illegal touching, the only way it could be illegal touching if the call was supposed to be on Williams, because there's no penalty unless he's the one touching the football based on the illegal formation or touching or whatever, right?
Correct.
So it has to be on him. You can't call a penalty on that type of penalty only works if the ball. If you say it was meant to be called on someone else, the only way it becomes a penalty is if the ball went to that said player. So no, I don't think that's right at all. So
okay.
The only thing I can maybe think of is unless how you said with the the man covered up and everything, unless there was a deal where it was an ineligible man downfield, but that would have only given them a fourth down, not turning the ball over though.
Yeah,
that was the only other thing.
It would just been it would be replay fourth down.
You would replay the down, so it's I don't know how you would basically go from that, if anything else, to basically all of a sudden loss of down. So it's that I think if anything, unless that was somehow deal, they implemented it wrong. That's the only
that end zone. That part of the end zone is cursed because Ryan Williams can't score, neither can Bauer Sharp either. Jeez, dropping that fucking pass, man.
You and I both went insane on that stream.
Oh yeah, I'm when my voice gets that high pitched, I'm an emotional person. I was like, how do you do that? How?
There was no. You and I both thought that was the game at that point. They still can.
I didn't think it was the game. I was just that's our fucking season right there.
Yeah,
wide open.
Yeah.
It made me think of first and goal at the 5 against Tennessee and forcing another. I was thinking of the Tennessee game. Oh my God, no.
Yeah.
Why, God, why? Anyway. We're going to have a hell of a home slate next year, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I get the Michigan tickets.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Ooh.
Because Dad, since he claimed the Bama tickets, I said I've wanted Michigan for a while now. So I get those tickets, and then we'll see who gets LSU.
Well,
When was
I
the
think
last
I
time
get
we played
Auburn.
against Michigan?
We haven't.
We have.
Outside of Natty.
I was about to say we have played against Michigan in the Orange Bowl, and we won a national
when
title.
Was the last time? Yeah, it was like
yeah,
what,
it was in the
1976
Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And you know what's
Everything
crazy?
has
It
been a
still
while.
will not be as big as the LSU game.
Switzer versus Bo Schenbeckler.
And Switzer won. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, they
yeah,
never
but of
faced
course that
they've
was
never had a
UCLA
home
beating
and home.
Ohio State.
Yeah, Switzer's like, oh shit, I just gotta beat these fuckers and I'm a champion? Fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah. I will say, but yeah, I think I'm gonna claim the Michigan and Auburn tickets next year, and then we'll see who gets LSU because depending on when the schedule and stuff's gonna be is what my game my dad picks.
I need to get back to Dallas. Fuck that shit. We going back to Dallas, bitch. I want my fucking hat back.
Do you think we have with how much there is some?
I feel
think there's a chance?
Obviously we have a long way to go, but I think we got as good a shot going into next year. Because we walked in as the walking
because
wounded.
We got, and then of course we got Arch Manning going to be under the helm too.
Are we sure? Because he's just not ready yet. Arch is still not ready. If I gotta hear that shit one more time, motherfucker, Quinn Ewers is like hurt again. And
go ahead, sorry.
And I keep hearing, why don't you put in Arch? Well, he's just on. Motherfucker, the next coming, the fucking greatest Nepo baby of all time. When is he gonna be ready? I've seen him play a little bit this year. I know he's capable of completing a forward pass.
Yeah.
I got motherfuckers on Twitter months ago saying, well, even if he turns out to not be good. I'm like, what? What? What do you mean turns out not to be good? When the fuck did that narrative begin?
You're making me think of the meme with the goose where it's like, not good? What do you mean maybe not good?
What do you mean maybe not good? Because it was what's his name? I can't pronounce his name. I don't want to butcher it, but Siraj, you know what I'm talking about. Covers Big 12, Baylor guy. So I don't want to butcher his name. I'm not trying to do it on purpose. But he was like saying getting Arch is good regardless because he brings all the skill talent and offensive line and all these other players. I'm like, yeah, like any top tier quarterback in a recruiting class would, but what's this talk about him not being good or sucks or is a bust or I was told that was impossible.
And to encompass it as a large,
I've only been screaming about this for 4 fucking years, I think.
I mean, you're the one who started the Arch Annan.
No, I did not start that. I did not start that.
You didn't? I thought you did. I actually thought you did.
No, I was a big proponent about that.
Well, sure.
But like, if your boy is hurt, like, I'm warning people. I will be the biggest fucking asshole on the internet if that motherfucker turns out to be a bust. Because I was told what morons we were for questioning all these recruiting services.
I mean, we're also morons, Sean, for doubting the basketball team, but that's another story entirely. But to go into the kind of,
I didn't doubt the basketball team. I doubted Porter Moser's fucking poor fucking coaching near the end of that game for almost choking that shit away tonight,
among many of his other games. But the even larger one is like, it's frustrated me a lot how seeing the Texas fan base like try to defend this or try to defend their schedule, and they're still not even the most toxic fan base right now. Like, I'm about ready to pull my hair out with the Notre Dame fan base and the Penn State fan base.
Penn State is worse because at least Notre Dame beat A&M, which, yeah, sure, you can say what you want. At least Notre Dame did something. Penn State's done nothing this year.
They beat Illinois once. That's like their big win.
Exactly.
But you know what? It's on the same level as Texas beating Vandy, as far as I'm concerned. I look at Penn State, Indiana, and Texas. Like they all look the same to me.
Corporate, tell us which are different. This is all the same.
Texas is the only reason Texas is number 3 because they were preseason like that high, and that's the only reason they're there. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. Recently, based on all the chaos, I don't think Texas is the number 3 team in the country. But who is? Who
I
is?
agree with you.
Pick me,
who the fuck is?
Pick me. I know.
Georgia.
No, obviously Alabama. 3 losses means they should be number 3. We're through the looking glass here, people.
And fuck guys like Legend and all those moronic Feinbaum callers and all that shit.
Dude, Bama is in meltdown this week.
Good.
Like, they
Let
are
me in meltdown mode.
on in their heels, and it's been pretty enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie. Even I'm like, click.
I have such disdain for that fucking program, man, because you got the old man Feinbaum who exploits all these ignorant people. Unless these people are getting a check under the table I'm unaware of, that's the only reason people watch that show. Like, you're basically calling into that show. You're basically a cast member you're not even getting a paycheck. Like, you're the reason people, if Feinbaum don't have his crazy Southern hit callers who call on and get mad at him every week, there's no reason to watch that show. There's no reason at all. It's the only reason you watch for 4 hours. You want crazy rednecks to call up, say stupid, insane shit. Once in a while, one of them gets a little racist, and they have to be put on a timeout for a few weeks, so they apologize and come back. But as far as I'm concerned, if they get a check under the table that I'm unaware of, fine. But as far as I know, they don't. I would sue that fucking program and say I'm the reason people watch your shit. People watch to see what the fuck I have to say as opposed to you. And
I get that, but it's like, man, and also I guess that speaks to their fan base as well. It's like, you are the callers that are calling in. Yikes. Like, ugh. I thought there was some other fan bases that were pretty bad, but man, Alabama definitely. I agree with you. I agree.
Well, here's another thing I want to get a little mini rant on, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. You're capable of mini ranting, not just ranting.
Well, I thought I had a mini stroke on Friday, so I'm all about many things right now.
Sorry about that.
No, I'm good. I got to be the man in the iron mask with an MRI on Friday night. That was fun. So there's this narrative that the SEC is not good this year. I'm like, oh my god, the SEC is this and that, and some people are trying to say the SEC is not the best conference in college football. And I'm like, wait, what?
What?
I mean, all right, would you like to inform me who number 1 is right now? And if you say it's the Big Ten, go fuck yourself.
No. Obviously, it's the Big 12.
Yeah. Didn't you see it?
Arizona.
There's 9 teams up for the conference championship. Of course, it's the Big 12.
And one of them is not Oklahoma State. But
only team with the worst season than Oklahoma State is Florida State.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, you could have Kevin Sperry and a psycho father. Have fun with that shit, guys.
Kevin Sperry wasn't even that good, wasn't it? Wasn't he even committed? It was like, okay,
well, no, people.
Well, it was weird because he went from someplace else and everything. Then he went to Carl Albert and then went down to Denton Geyer of all things.
Yeah, good quarterbacks don't come from there. But no, it's I could tell the people. I know the people who don't follow recruiting. It's Kevin Sperry decommitted. No one's upset about this. It was I was I can tell the people who don't follow this shit getting mad. All the others are going to leave now. It's it is kind of amazing that Kevin Sperry is the one guy of everything. And it's we kind of knew Kevin Sperry was probably going to leave anyway. They still need to get a prep QB, which they're hopefully going to get at some point this week, but
I hope we can just get the Muskogee quarterback and everything. That's what I'm hoping for.
All I care let's hold on to Jaden O'Neal, and if Arbuckle comes, he'll bring his QB more than likely. I mean, I know we're still in the what if Jackson Arnold stays? I don't know. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. I don't know at this point. I
think he got a lot of confidence on Saturday with how they utilized his skills.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's going to stay. But it does make him more it does potentially make him more appealing to other schools. Like, we still live in this universe where we don't have a passing game yet, and it's not going to appear till we get a new OC. It's just not.
Well, and that's what makes the win against Bama so wild. We didn't pass the ball. We ran it.
We could barely pass the ball.
Only
we still beat
68
you.
yards of off passing yards, if I'm not mistaken.
I just love how they owe it. This is the worst Bama loss ever. I'm like, yes. I almost
lost to us.
I almost take pride in that shit because that's how shitty. You lost to a team that almost lost to Houston. Remember that fucking game?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I do. It wasn't fun. Not that I attended it because I was driving home from a convention at that time, but I was about to go insane.
See, you and your fucking conventions, like you did the whole who me type of shit when you were with the call with me and Eric or the stream. And like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I'm talking to you, motherfucker. You and your fucking conventions you go to every goddamn weekend. There's a convention within like driving distance. This motherfucker's gonna be there.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on. It lets me disconnect from the world. It disconnect from some of the bad OU offenses I've seen all season. But no,
you know what?
I mean,
I'm going to drive in my car and go to Anime Weekend Atlanta because they moved that shit to December, damn it. I'm just going to go. I'm going to show up. I don't know why, but
sure.
I'm just going to get my car and go. Say, fuck it. Drive it to Atlanta.
People watching.
Fucking people watching. That's a crowded fucking thing. Anyway, no one gives a shit about that. The point of the matter is,
we beat Bama only running the ball.
We beat Bama, goddammit.
Yeah, we beat Bama by running the ball. Over 250 yards worth of rushing.
So Xavier Robinson, I loved Brent's presser yesterday because it was like one of the more. It was one of the more entertaining press conferences, and he kind of laid it out why Xavier Robinson has been playing till now. Because in spring he was overweight, he was fumbling the ball. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And he still wasn't that guy. And so it kind of makes sense that it took till this point till, okay, we think he's ready now. Go. Oh, look, he's even better than we thought. How about that? I can't even begin to describe how invaluable he's going to be next year with the way the offensive line, because if there's one thing I also took away from the past couple weeks, even in the loss to Mizzou, you all of a sudden can see the offensive line kind of grow. And it's like, oh, Logan Howland could be your left tackle. Heath Azeda is playing very well with him. Troy Everett's got another year left. And
I think that they are, I wasn't sure about them. They are catching on fast. I give them credit for that.
Eddie Pierre-Louis or Fabici, depending. I'm kind of leaning towards Eddie Pierre-Louis. And then your right tackle situation, I know people point to Sexton or Taylor, but you still need to go
injury prone. I wouldn't trust them.
I don't think that's fair. But you still need to go get another tackle regardless, even though you got two potential stud freshmen coming in.
You can never have too many linemen.
I don't want to have to depend on Michael Fasusi year one. And I really hope Michael Fasusi and his parents aren't the type, why is my son playing year one? You don't want to play true freshman tackles. Look at Logan Howland. Look at all these. You don't want to play those guys. I knew we were going to win that. I guess you knew we were going to win that football game when fucking Spencer Brown is like having the game of his fucking life. You knew shit was going well when that dude wasn't fucking up. So getting a decent tackle in the portal is not easy. But at the end of the day, you feel good. You need to go get tight ends, unless Davon Mitchell develops and gets it, because that's a dude that needed a year. I mean, he was not Ryan. He was not Ryan Williams at Bama. He was not the 17-year-old phenom that he was, unfortunately. So hopefully he can be that guy at some point. But you still need to go get a JUCO, go get a transfer tight end again. Unless you think Bauer Sharp could be the guy. I think Bauer Sharp has a spot in the offense. He can't be the guy. He can't be the guy.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have a role like Bauer Sharp. I don't mind Bauer Sharp getting 2 or 3 catches a game, but he can't be your guy. He can't be the guy.
I think one thing you want to mention as well, Sean, with the I wanted to back up just a moment for the press conference. Yeah, if I mentioned as well how toxic like the Notre Dame and Penn State fans have been, as well as Texas and Texas A&M. Our local media has also been very toxic as well. Like when Brent said, like, I effed up, I hired Seth, he sucked.
Oh,
you got all the local media just all up in their fields, like, how dare he say that?
You know what? Good for Brent Venables for fucking saying I fucked up.
I agree.
That's what a fucking grown adult does.
Yeah.
I fucked up. You know what? I don't care. I don't care if local media gets in their fucking feels because he said, yeah, hiring Seth was a mistake. Because guess what, boys and girls? How did it work out?
Yeah.
And look,
I
understand. And here's the thing. I understand why they hired him. Because
it was to keep Jackson and keep the system similar to
well, that was part of it, but it should have worked. And we could talk about injuries to the wide receivers because that would fuck up anybody. But Seth was a square peg in a round hole, and he could not fucking get around. He refused to like adjust. He refused to like go with a game plan that could work. And look, maybe anybody in that situation would have failed. Who knows? But the problem
my
was
understanding. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
there was no obvious progression week to week, even with all the injuries. Guys weren't getting better. There wasn't. At some point, you got to get the ball to somebody. You got to be able to move the ball down the field. It can't keep progressing and getting worse because it was. And so I'll give credit to Joe John Finley. Joe John Finley was a good substitute teacher. He was the sub who he didn't give you homework on the weekends. You know, he was understandable. He was easy to communicate with in class. If you had a question, you raised your hand. You were able to go up to the chalkboard, figure shit out. Okay, cool. Graded on a curve too. He was an awesome substitute teacher, just like Peggy Hill, substitute teacher of the year. So,
Peggy Hill.
Exactly. So, but we all know Joe. We all know Joe John's not going to be the OC next year. So it's.
I feel there. I have two opinions. I think Joe John could be good being an assistant to the play callers because I think it has shown he understands it. I don't think he's a decent.
I don't want him out there recruiting because
I'm talking solely of I think he will be a good coach. I don't think he's in the right position though, because it's night and day with how well he play calls, but it's horrible at developing at players.
I'm still pissed about Nate Roberts being at Ohio State.
Oh no, and I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying, based on his work since Seth, it's enough for me to go, okay, maybe it works out somewhere else. The flip side with Seth Littrell, though, is Seth didn't coordinate with the other coaches. I mean, I saw several times like little rumors and stuff here and there that Seth would not talk with the coaches, and that seems kind of true. Like if Brent's willing to call you out and you're a former player, a beloved former player, that to me is there has to be some truth to it. I'm not going to say like it's the full truth. There has to be some sort of truth to that. I also say too, like I've gotten to debates with people like I don't think he was a good pick in the first place because he didn't do that well at North Texas. He did fantastic. No, guys, he really didn't. He wasn't that great of a head coach.
Second place in the conference.
Huh?
I think they got like what second place or probably in the conference like so many years, and then we're like what 7-6 or 8-5. It felt like.
Oh yeah, like in the beginning. Yeah, in the beginning, Gavin, that's what happened, and then as it progressed, quoting the North Texas fans, they said they believed he was there just to get a paycheck. He beat up on the crappy teams, and he would never won against a good team, and they were ready to move on from him. They said universally he was a dick, and it's like, yeah, I mean, we know that here too. He's an asshole. If you're good at your job, people can overlook someone being an asshole, but he wasn't. And the warning signs was there, and I always bring it up, and I'm not trying to, but the warning signs was there since Houston, and it just escalated more and more. I don't know if we beat South Carolina. I don't think we beat Texas, but if Seth is not the play caller, I think we have a pitcher's chance against Tennessee. I think we could have beaten them. I don't know, though.
Jackson Arnold has to hold on to the damn football.
Correct.
So.
And I think that's why the game went so well on Saturday was they took the ball out of his hands. They gave it to Xavier Robinson.
And Taylor Tatum needs to hold on to the damn football. Because I think Taylor Tatum has a chance to be really good. He
has a fumble problem, man.
Well, we forget he's also a true freshman. So,
and to his credit, I don't blame him for the fumble on Saturday. Bro got laid out. Like, I don't think anybody could have held on to that ball. He got hit square. Like
we were playing against Alabama, so it's not like they don't make.
But it's on film now. He has Bob would have benched him.
But I love Xavier Robinson. I feel like Xavier Robinson feels like a dude who's got like he's a little bit like Trey Miller to Dimitri Flowers, but with like Kennedy. He's got Kennedy Brooks patience, which I think is going to be so deadly if he keeps getting better. And that dude with Kennedy Brooks patience is going to be a fucking monster if we have an O-line that continues to grow and get better. Like it I'm trying not to get ahead of myself because I want to get excited about things. It's like I need that guy because like he came in, he needed to learn how to be an adult, and I think so far he's on the right path. If he stays on that correct path of like getting better, he's gonna be one of those dudes. He's gonna be potentially all SEC. He's gonna be one of those dudes. You're like, God, I wish he was on my team. And everyone's gonna say he was an in-state kid, 3-star. Woohoo! He's gonna be one of those guys. And
the media will eat that up.
Oh man.
He ain't gonna be no Heisman guy or anything, but he'll be someone you don't want to.
He'll be like Ramondre or Kennedy Brooks. Like,
dude, Ramondre Steve, God, I miss him.
I do too.
Remember when he came back finally in 20 and he was just an instant beast,
a monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was against Tech?
I think it was against Tech. Yeah.
That was against, it was against Tech at night in Lubbock, and that was like the first time we just like went to Lubbock and just destroyed them.
And not quite some time, but nobody.
It had been a minute since we'd gone to Lubbock and not had a problem. You know what I mean? It'd been a minute.
Yeah. If you mentioned on the O-line and stuff, Jake Taylor and Sexton, man, the hard part for me is they're always injured. And I don't think they can be reliable.
Yes, you know what? A lot of guys are injured this year. So
I'm not talking this year. I'm talking more of that. You see a trend, especially Jake. Like, I think Jake is a good dude. I think he's talented. I'm at the point I wouldn't want him as a starter because he's that injured every time.
Okay,
I think I feel like he's like Casey Thompson, where it's like he gets hit once, he explodes into dust.
So your only other option is to play a true freshman, or you get someone from the portal. And
I think you have to portal. And I hate saying that, but you're going to
portal someone anyway because you're going to need depth regardless. So
correct.
I mean, he's injured. It's like, okay, but you're going to portal someone anyway. And
well, and inside. Not inside information and stuff, but I'm being told like we're spending a lot of money, guys. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, I mean, potentially on whoever quarterback's going to be, you'll either have extra cash or I don't know. It's our whole season's gonna our whole off season's gonna be built around who's going to be quarterback.
Yeah,
and if it's if we go on there and it's Jackson, I'm still hesitant a little bit, but because you just don't know yet. And you need to get receivers healthy, and like how many of these young guys that are coming in are going to be early enrollees, because the guy I'm really excited for, like coming into the class from this class, is Elijah Thomas. I think he has a chance to be really, really good. And I know there's who am I missing? Who's the kid from Florida that we're keeping that we got committed? I forgot off the top of my head. I don't have a list in front of me.
Top of my head.
I like God, because I know people are kind of iffy if he might if his eyes are wandering for whatever reason. But if he's gonna do it, he's gonna need to do it quick because he's kind of running out of time to take a visit anywhere. So
here I do have a not a recruiting.
Is it Mills? I'm trying to think. Someone who's got like a list. Damn it! Now I gotta look up.
While you look that up, I do have a question for everybody in here. Now, I was gonna save this for next week, but I think
Cortez Mills. Yeah, Cortez Mills. I was right. God damn it! So
I know nothing about Cortez Mills.
Cortez Mills is a really talented kid out of Florida, and I'm not saying he's decommitting, but he's like a guy last second I'm keeping an eye on because the Gators might be, roaming in the background, seeing if they can swipe him.
Speaking of I will say, speaking of recruits, is there anybody from North Carolina that we have our eyes on? I'm assuming not.
Are you trying to steal from Mac Brown?
Yes. No, it's not for Mac Brown because it's not his program anymore.
I know he got fired, so
he did. But is there anybody there? As far as I know, there is not. But is there someone OU could contact? Be like, yeah, you may fit.
I have been so not paying attention to anyone else's recruiting but our own lately, so I couldn't tell you. All I know is that we're probably going to steal the kid from the Barnes kid from Baylor, that linebacker. That one is because he was the lone uncommitted visitor for the game, and when you have that type of performance, you tend to do well. He's committed to Baylor because he wanted to stay close to home. A lot of people thought he'd go to Oregon, but Oregon's just too far.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Oklahoma's the good happy medium where it's not too far from home. It's a legit program in the SEC with a coach who coaches up linebackers, and there's a spark. There's life in the program now again. So, and you know what? We're going to need to replace some of these linebackers at some point. So,
correct. Here's a non-recruiting question for you, and this is for everybody because I am kind of curious on it. Now that the season has wrapped up,
we got a game to play, sir. What do you mean?
We do, but for this question, it doesn't mean anything for it because
liar.
Let me rephrase it. With the home slate wrapped up.
Okay.
With our first year in the SEC almost in the books at this point, home obviously wrapped up. Are you happy that we did not play Bedlam this year? Are you okay?
I don't give.
It's kind of been through a conversation.
I don't care.
I don't give two
shits. I'm not worried about it. No.
You think what happened on Saturday makes me go, gosh darn it, I wish we were playing the Pokes this weekend. No, fuck that.
No.
Let them suffer.
And that's the question that kept getting not brought up, but it was acted in a kind of a group stuff. I said, guys,
I hate to say that is such an inside the state of Oklahoma question. It just truly is.
I don't disagree with you. I'm like, guys, as low as the program has been and with the wins and stuff, I said Tennessee and Alabama's environment alone was better than any Bedlam environment in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
So what? Let's say we play Bedlam. We beat, we would not. Doing Bedlam this year gets us nothing. We either lose to a 3-9 Oklahoma State.
It saves their season potentially, as opposed to ours.
Or you beat a 3-9 Oklahoma State. Bama, a win against Bama, or even if we had lost Bama, a win against LSU makes things look better. That's as simple as that. Nothing about even if the Pokes were good, even if Oklahoma State was good, like you only get to ruin their season like once every 20 years. It's not worth it.
Listen, it's their fault that they didn't want to keep the game going. It's their own fault.
Well, Sean, that was it was the reality that you said when they said it's not an if we play, it's a win. It's when the Pokes need money again, and I mean they're gonna need money for a Gundy buyout here soon.
Oh, they ain't firing him. You kidding me?
No, I think there's a chance they will. I think there's a chance they will.
I think so too.
Because here's the thing. Because Gundy has not recruited. It's not like Gundy's recruited well and stuff just hasn't come together. It feels like they're at the end of a long relationship where
I can at least say
they're like where we were with Bob. They're scared to let him go because they don't
I can at
want
least
hurt.
say we can at least say, like, if we want to, look at all the injuries we had this year. We got fucked. We were so fucked. What's their excuse?
Exactly.
there's not.
They had a loaded team coming back, and I'm not saying they're a national title contender, but they should have been at the top of the Big 12.
They had a Heisman contender and running back too with Ollie Gordon.
They excused Ollie Gordon. Was it drunk driving?
No one's talking about Ollie Gordon this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was a bust. They figured him out. Well, it's what you said, Swiggy, was like with all the people that were returning. I found it and I was looking for it as well. Returning all their O linemen, returning the Doak Walker Award, a 7th-year starting quarterback, returning all the wide receivers, 5th-year OC, 18th-year head coach, but they have 0 Big 12 wins. And their best win is against South Dakota State.
And they missed their old DC at Ohio State right now, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. I think he'll be a head coach. I think he's that good. I think he'll get a head coach opportunity here soon. It won't be Oklahoma State. But that's the problem. I do agree with them, though, of who do they go get? And I said, guys, I think the reality that y'all have to face is you're going to be looking in FCS for a head coach.
I don't think it's that bad. They're not that bad. They're not that bad.
Oh, I think they're that bad.
I think Jim Traber would be a great head coach for OSU. Put him in. Let's do it.
He could broadcast at the same time during the game.
Well, he could still on Fridays. He could still do the casino, radio, remotes, and then he can.
But yeah, I mean, they may not fire Gundy, but they have to take a big look. They have to take a long look and decide what's the future. Your future is what? Oklahoma State was. I think they were 80th. Was it 80th in recruit? 80 in the 80s in recruiting this year.
I think so. I'll take a look.
Yeah. I mean, I know it wasn't high. You're not even high for the Big 12.
Didn't Boone Pickens bury some money in his backyard somewhere for NIL purposes?
What's even worse for them. Look at the top 4 of the Big 12. The top 4 of the Big 12 are one classic BYU. Big 12 team, BYU, newbie, Colorado. You can all whatever you want with that, and Arizona State. The fact is, congrats. The Big 12 is added, but you are where you are in a conference that big, and you brought in teams who were seemingly more talented than you. Look, Oklahoma State has to admit where they are, where they've messed up, because if nothing else if they can't fix it. Because it's just going to get worse. If they can't recruit, then it's going to get worse for them.
I want to add to that, Swiggy. I found their recruiting ranking for this year, 55. And they're playing like a 55
55.
Class.
Not as bad as I thought. I could have sworn I saw the 80 somewhere, but
I mean, it could be an average.
Whatever. They're still not doing you're 55.
But Swiggy, I'll ask you a question. Obviously, the spoiler alert is they didn't recruit a 5-star. Okay.
Yep.
How many 4-star?
No, that's bad.
How many 5 stars has OSU ever gotten? 0. How many?
No, they've gotten some.
When?
Didn't they just get one 2 years ago?
Name the last 5-star that Oklahoma State got.
I can't name him.
You can't name it. That's that's the thing.
Yeah. Anyway, go on, Josh.
You can name 5 stars that Oklahoma's gotten. A lot of them bust, mind you, but you can name them.
Sure. But how many 4-stars did they recruit in this last class? Just to get some solid players.
I'm going to say 3, if that.
You're wrong.
How many?
Gavin?
0.
I think they probably have only had maybe 1, maybe, I don't know.
Sean's right.
Yeah.
0.
Wow.
They had 21 3-star guys, and using your term, Sean, they're probably 3-star guys with 5-star hearts. That's all they are, and that's what they're getting on the field. And I mean, at some point, they're probably Jags. That's probably what they are. And at some point, they have to evaluate. Maybe this year they don't fire him, but the longer they keep Gundy on that staff, the longer that team's going to regress. I think they got a hard reality check.
Dude, they wouldn't know what to do without him. Are you kidding me? I don't think they would know where to look.
FCS. I'm not being mean saying that. I think with the consolidation of college football, you're not taking a coordinator from somewhere if they're going to a no-nothing school.
The problem with that program right now is that you're in a conference that is very quickly, a lot faster than I anticipated, is starting like
imploding.
Do we need? Well, no. Are we sure we want to keep calling this a Power 4, or do we need to drop it to a Power 3?
Yeah,
because
no, you're right. You're right.
When your projected conference champion is not in the top 4 of this playoff,
that's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Boise State should not. I mean, there's enough solid programs in the Big 12 where your champion should be in this top 4.
Well, like I said, Sean, I think you missed it this week. All they are is MAC Plus. A newer version of
I agree with you. They don't have any anchor schools. They don't. When you lose OU in Texas, the anchor schools are gone.
It's like
they're getting that reality check. I agree.
It's like when a mall loses a Macy. It's like back in the day when a mall lost to Macy's. Yeah, man, it's over.
when you lose your anchor department store.
Yeah, it's over.
That is a really Sean and Swiggy, you're going to having some great references tonight. Like, that's a good reference, too. You're not wrong, though.
Guys, the Orange Julius is no more. Oh, fuck.
It is. It's unfortunate. And that's where they are. And, I mean, look, it's going to take a few more years for me to say it's a Power 3, not a Power 4. I think we're trending that way. But, I'll give it a year, this new playoff, whatever. But, there are major problems with the Big 12. And right now, Oklahoma State, look, if you're not looking forward 10 years, you're dead at this point. You're dead.
Yeah.
If you're not trying to find a path, you can. And look, there might not be a path at this point, but at that point, you have to at least try and make one. Like, I don't know. Like whatever the Pac-2 are doing, I don't think it'll be successful. I don't think it's going to make them that much money.
That shit should hopefully come to an end this offseason.
Yeah, but but at least there were like attempts that they made to keep going. It's just they were dead. They were DOA, but at least they tried.
Seeing the Pac-12 like media days this past offseason, where it's just the two teams, it felt like it was a furry meetup that got canceled, and 2 people didn't get the email or the text.
Yeah.
Where's everybody? The furry meetup got canceled. Sorry, guys.
All they needed was a ball pit.
But that's the thing. At least they tried. They failed miserably. I'm not giving them credit for any success.
You're not giving them a pass.
Well, the thing is, like the Pac-12. Like I said, when I say it's coming to an end, like the Pac-12 is adding a bunch of teams, obviously.
Right.
It's
not going to change anything. It's still going to be.
It's not going to change anything at all.
They need like one more technically to be a conference still?
Yes, and they have one more year to do that before it's like they lose their bids or whatever it is for the playoff. They have like a 2-year grace period at the.
It's like you go to school and like you have to have X amount of members for there to be an after school club. Sorry, you don't get a club room anymore if you don't have at least 5 members.
You can use a picnic table out in the back. I mean,
once again, I don't think it's going to work. I've said that, but they're trying. And look, if Oklahoma State sticks with Gundy, the world order they're in, just going through it. Your new Big 12 teams in Arizona State, BYU, you have now there's still a lot of bad teams in that Big 12, but there are also teams that aren't going to just stay bad. Like
But
Utah.
Swiggy, you also have to take a look though right now. Like,
Yeah.
we have more Big 12 wins than they do.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
I've got the guy. I've got the guy for Oklahoma State.
Trust me. But
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying it just gets harder from here on out because Utah's been bad this year, but they're traditionally at least an okay to spoilery football school. There's it's they're in a bad position no matter what Oklahoma State wants to say.
But I've got the guy. I've got the guy to replace Gundy.
Who's
He's young. He's motivated. He's looking to move up in the world, and he knows how to get people's attention in the state of Oklahoma. For future Oklahoma State head football coach Ryan Walters.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna say Lincoln Riley, and then you went in a completely different direction. I almost vomited.
He doesn't even have to move, does he? I mean, he can just like. I'm sure the folks in Stillwater will play his prayer videos.
Yeah, well,
no one else wants to.
With Cowboys Forever.
With Cowboys Forever, we'll pray for Cowboys Forever to come back.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Match
so
made in heaven.
But yeah, so Oklahoma State trash program right now.
They can pray for Bedlam to come back so they can sell season, so they can force people to buy their season tickets again.
Oh, so I agree with that because they sold out this year. They're not selling out next year.
They actually sold out this year. Good for them.
They sold out.
I'm actually impressed they sold out their season tickets.
I think there was if we're talking blind loyalty people I knew we were going to beat Bama. There was blind loyalty people who genuinely believed they were a national title contender. And I'm not making that up.
They were never a national title contender, but I truly believe they would be competing for the Big 12 more than likely.
Those were.
I gave them that much credit.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to make it to the playoff. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, making it to the playoff and everything.
12, sure,
I think they compete for the. I assume they'd be competing for the Big 12 and all that shit, and they would be there. And hell, they were in the championship game last year. They just ran into fucking Texas, and Texas, like they couldn't find a way to beat Texas and ruin their season. Like having to watch that game is like, well, it's one of these fuckers got to win, I guess. But
I'm rooting for chaos because I think was it 6 or 8 Big 12 tie we could have this year.
An 8 right now. Well, right now it's 9, but it would be 8 if everything goes well this weekend.
Let's do it.
I love how people complain. I love how people are complaining about the playoff, and I was like, "This is great because it's exactly what you wanted to happen." Everyone says, "Oh, we'll just become." Remember all those years they said, "Oh, we're just going to complain about who's 12 or 13." I'm like, "You're right, and we're doing it. We're still having fun."
Yeah. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for.
I was told the sport was going to be ruined by the expanded playoff,
which is fun.
No.
Or the regular season. The regular season, Sean, was going to be ruined.
Yeah, regular season
based on the
numbers.
Ruined.
If anything, it's been more fun. If anything, it's been more fun because just one loss doesn't kill you immediately.
Yeah, I don't think it's not that about one loss killing you immediately. It's just that it's prevented the sport. Here's what the sport has become slowly. We're not talking about 2 or 3 teams just playing for the national title anymore.
True.
And it's not just because of there's more teams, because the key factor that people are hopefully starting to realize, because people like to blame one, it's a combination of everything. The expanded playoff is one part.
Mm-hmm.
NIL is also a big part of it, but the NIL part doesn't have the same effect unless you basically have the portal the way it's been the past few years. Because when you combine those two and the expanded playoff, like how many teams are we looking at this year as completely elite? These are the best teams without question. We're picking them with like Ohio. Ohio State might be the favorite to win the national title in Vegas, but left tackle's out for the year, center's out for the year. Will Howard's your quarterback.
I felt bad for
Oregon is
felt bad
good, But, people are looking at Oregon side-eyed, struggling with Wisconsin a few weeks ago. I'm sorry, I always like to rib the Texas fans, because when I pick the teams that I think can win the national title, I don't put Texas on the list because I think they're too banged up. And I think Quinn Ewers is mid. So it's just, I don't believe in Texas. Because I
don't believe in Texas.
And I haven't seen them beat a team with a pulse.
I think, too, to add that in, that I think the Texas fans are a little bit delusional as well, because you mentioned that, they've been mid since their loss to Georgia, but we're still winning. I get that. We beat bowl-eligible teams. That doesn't mean a whole lot.
I mean,
but
here's the thing. But in the expanded playoff, maybe they pull it together. Remember, everyone's talking about last year. Oh, this is the year the Ravens finally beat the Chiefs, or this is the year the Niners finally beat the Chiefs. And what happened? Much like Jason, the Chiefs returned and won another Super Bowl. So I guess that's the thing. If you are a fan who's going on hopium, yeah, sure, it's a playoff.
I don't understand why Oklahoma's not in the playoff. We beat Bama. Fuck those people.
Anything can. Yes, it's a playoff. Anything can happen. That's we've seen it in the NFL. We've seen it in baseball. Obviously that's not a pure comparison, baseball to college football. In fact, that's a dumb comparison. But the point of the playoff remains the same. Anything can happen in a playoff. You just gotta get in there, and if you
it's gonna replace the terrible bowl season. I hate bowl season so much. I know we're going to a crappy bowl this year, regardless, but it's we're gonna have all these games that actually matter.
But what about the All-State Sugar Bowl? Is it going to be okay? And
yeah, it's part of the playoff. Oh, well, yeah, the Sugar Bowl is part of the playoffs.
Yeah, that's bad.
You're talking the Rose Bowl.
I'm talking. No, but please. Where's the Texas Bowl? Is it safe?
It's in Texas. It's in Texas.
Is it safe? Is it okay?
No, it's dead.
No.
But it's
wait. So you're telling me we kill the Texas Bowl and I get a playoff game where hypothetically I can get, let's say Tennessee versus Ohio State. This is an absolute win.
Send people to Orlando for a playoff game one year. I want to see it happen.
Yeah, well, and it's what you're mentioning too of why we won the playoff. Right now, guys, the simulated BCS that still keeps up with it. Your national championship would be Oregon and Ohio State.
A game we've already watched.
Yes.
In which I did burn Ryan Day in effigy for. I have another effigy ready. I'm ready for if he fucks up in the playoffs.
That was a really good game, and so it's not that I would mind watching that again. It's just the fact that it's we already got part one of that. I kind of want the national title game to be stupid. I want it to be a
SMU.
matchup no one sees. Yeah, I kind of want SMU to make a run.
SMU would be fun. But see, that's what we're talking about. We're also talking about fun playoff runs where, maybe nothing happens with SMU and we get a pretty boring, let's say Texas, Ohio State. Okay, at very least, it's more fun getting there.
Okay, here's a question because Sean, you did the show on Tuesday with Eric.
No, Eric was not with me on Tuesday.
Oh, he wasn't. I thought he was, but
no, he had a prior commitment he had to do. So I was
the disappointment.
No.
That said,
terrible.
Who has
terrible show
as of right now? Because it will change obviously within a couple days. Who
Ohio
has
State.
the easiest path to the
Ohio
title game?
Whoever's the fifth seed.
Yeah, the fifth seed, Ohio State right now.
Are you sure?
Yes, if whoever has the
I kind of
seeds...
look at it and I go, Notre Dame has a very easy path because they get SMU and they get Texas. And I think
that's not going to stay the same though. So that don't get attached to that bracket is my point. So
gotcha.
Whoever's the fifth seed is going to play the 12th seed, whoever they may be. And then they'll likely play they're going to, if they win that, they'll play the 4th seed, which is going to be Boise or the Big 12 champion. And then you finally play someone worth a damn in the semifinals. So let's say you're Oregon and you win, you beat Ohio State again, you're the number 1 seed, you're going to likely play a decent SEC team.
Right now, Georgia or Tennessee, based on what the
so would you rather be number 1 or number 5? Number 1, you get to skip a game but play a tougher opponent in the quarters, or you could play Group of 5 champion, Big 12 champion, and then play someone worth a damn in the semis. So
isn't that just how the dice just landed this year?
No, but people figured this out way before. Is that based on all these simulations, the 5th seed is the cheat code. You want to be just good enough, but you either lose the conference championship or just miss out on the conference championship. So 5th seed's where it's at. And I'm sure, and Joel Klatt is like, they need to reseed after these first round games. And he's not necessarily wrong on that. But at the same time, it's like, well, that's how it is right now. And
just stop whining, Joel.
And we're going to expand this thing to 14 anyway, so there'll only be 2 buys. It's going to be like the WrestleMania 4 tournament back in 1988. Only 2 buys for everybody.
The thing is, it's a work in progress. And some teams might get screwed this year, but I don't feel that bad.
If you're talking about reseeding, are you in favor of that or are you not? I haven't heard that yet, and that's a very interesting bullet point.
You know who does do reseeding? The NFL. No, the NFL.
No,
I was thinking college football like that.
No,
they kind of do. Yeah, like that.
In the NFL in the playoffs,
they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah,
if you're the number 1 seed, you always end up playing the lowest seed that's available in the next round.
Yeah, reseeding makes the most sense. I like reseeding.
So the NFL does it. So that's what everyone else is doing.
I mean, we're NFL light at this point. Why don't we do that?
And it ruined college football. We're NFL light. Yeah, grow up. Deal with it. I am so sick and tired of I'm just so sick and tired of okay.
Whiners.
Sorry, I just got a message.
You got a message?
Yeah, I gotta take this real quick. Keep talking.
Sure. Like I said, I do find it funny. Swiggy, I mentioned it on Monday, but I'll tell it to Sean too. I do find it funny. A friend of mine, we were talking about how, we can't enjoy Texas and Texas A&M being a toxic fan base during Thanksgiving. And he was like, well, I guess we're just going to have to settle with Mississippi and Mississippi State. And I went, who's going to tell him? And he's like, what? I went, they don't play on Thanksgiving anymore, man. College football moved off of Thanksgiving. He went, what?
There's like, I think Tulane is the only game on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And he was like, what? I went, yeah, because the NFL has more games. He's like, fuck the NFL. I went,
I would have put, I'm surprised they didn't put Texas and the Aggies on Thanksgiving back like they did in the day. I'm surprised that's what I was kind of expecting.
I thought they were going to be a 7 or 8 o'clock game on Thanksgiving night. I thought the exact same thing. I was surprised when I was getting my pick'ems ready they're not playing Thursday.
Never fight the shield.
Do you think they would lose an NFL matchup?
Yes.
Really? Texas and Texas A&M against an NFL game?
Yes, because people in Texas care, but more people are going to tune into NBC. More people are going to tune into NBC to watch Packers Dolphins. NFL is king.
Really?
Yes.
On for this rivalry game.
Yes.
I'm not talking like if it was an OU Texas or something.
Josh, I can tell you how little people outside Texas care about that.
Wow. I didn't realize that. I thought the Texas A&M rivalry was a big deal, but I guess I put too much stock in it, just like I think a couple of Notre Dame acquaintances that I know put a lot of stock into the Notre Dame USC rivalry. I'm like, I don't think a lot of people care about that one as much as what y'all think it does. Like, it's the number 1 rivalry. No, it's not. It's not even a top 3, maybe not even a top 5. But yeah, I didn't realize that, Swiggy. Like, I guess you from Ohio, like you would know some of that info and everything.
Yep, I mean, NFL is king. I'm not saying. I mean, they eat into NFL ratings, but they're already kind of at war over NFL expanding into Friday, over NFL trying a few more Friday night games. I mean, NFL's taken over. NFL's been taking over Christmas. NBA's been unable to do anything about it. NFL even has a Black Friday game this year. That's probably going to do numbers because it's the Chiefs. Not many because it's I think it's Prime and their Christmas Day games are only Netflix. But
I mean, their live sports programming is off to a fantastic start. So
yeah.
But I mean, isn't that what you have said though, Sean? Was basketball? It's the same problem the NCAA has, is people don't care about the regular season basketball until it's playoff time, because that's how they've made it. So what should anybody be surprised? NFL has kicked them off of Christmas Day.
What are you talking? Where are you referring to? Like, is that going to happen to football or?
No, I'm referring to NFL taking over Christmas Day versus NBA. Like the NBA.
Oh well, yeah. Christmas used to be like an NBA holiday, where Christmas used to be the unofficial start of the regular season of the NBA, even though it had been going on for 2 months.
Yeah. But NFL plans to stop that because it's the NFL. They're all encompassing, all evil.
And I mean, do you think?
Not negative. I have nothing negative with that. That's just how I feel about the NFL. They're evil.
Do you think, Swiggy, with the NFL, if it competes with college football, who would blink first on like big stuff? I'm not talking regular season, but like
college
more
football.
January-ish. Would college football move their playoff game, or would NFL?
College football. You kidding me? You kidding me? College football does numbers. They do numbers, but they don't do NFL numbers. NFL until they're beaten is king. And as far as NFL specifically expanded their playoffs to be able to sell 2 more games. I mean, they want to move to an 18-game schedule because people want NFL. Like Thanksgiving is seen as an NFL holiday at this point. It's college is great. College still does really well. I'm not saying college is some kind of dying thing or college doesn't do ratings. It's just it's not the NFL, because as good as college is, college is too regional, and some people just don't care about teams that aren't their own.
So here's my question to you, Swiggy. From Ohio State, what big games mattered in Ohio besides the Michigan one? Like, that's an obvious answer.
Every Ohio State game mattered.
Same thing with Oklahoma. Every OU game matters.
Yeah, but I mean, outside of that, anything happening in Big Ten country, and this about 20 years ago when I was growing up, but maybe it may have changed because of the advent of TV, but I can tell you, we didn't care about SEC games. We didn't care about Pac-12. We didn't care about Big 12. Like growing up, I viewed OU Texas as something kind of fun, but I never really watched it.
Dude, I lived in a world down here in Florida where the only game that mattered was Florida State.
Yeah.
It's like Florida winning the SEC was like a given almost because of Spurrier. It's like the only team that could really beat him on the reg was Bobby Bowden, Florida State. Like he's like, oh, they got to worry about Georgia, and I was like, no, they don't. Tennessee, they got to worry about no, they don't. They beat Tennessee all the time. No, so it's like no, it's Florida State they got to worry about.
I was mostly just
that was the 90s,
because I do hear that, and I feel like a lot of the ones with it that talk about like the rivalries or the games, it may be the people who love college football or like the announcers like Herbie. Here's his favorite games and everything. It's just a curiosity.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love college football. I do love it. But if you told young me, okay, you could watch Patrick, and once again, I'm moving young me into the modern world. If you could tell young me I could watch Patrick Mahomes or Texas A&M, I want to watch Patrick Mahomes.
That's valid.
That's just how it was, because I don't care about Texas. I don't care about Texas. I don't care about Texas A&M. like maybe I kind of care, but I'm like, if Ohio State beats Michigan, we're in the playoffs. In fact, I'm just about to have my pre-OU Michigan, my pre-Ohio State Michigan panic attacks.
Which is valid. I mean, we have that with OU Texas every year. Gentlemen, let's wrap up for tonight. Swiggy, final prediction for LSU.
I've stayed the course with a lot of it. I'm actually gonna go close loss with LSU. I think beating them under the lights is going to be hard, and carrying them motion over from the Bama game. I do think it'll be close, but I think LSU will eke out a win.
Okay.
But I want to be clear. My confidence on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, is like a 1. So.
Okay. Sean, what's your final prediction for LSU? I'm not necessarily a score, but who do you think is going to win? Or he walked away for a second. So,
my last prediction then is pain.
Absolutely. Mine, I'm in the middle at the moment. I keep going back and forth because there's one stat with LSU that nobody is talking about is, well, two. There's two. The first one is their quarterback is a turnover machine. You think that Arnold is a turnover machine. He is even worse. He's thrown 11 interceptions this year, and he's like second in the SEC for turnovers. I think that is going to be a factor. Now, here's the flip side of that. I want to say if OU repeats the plan they did against Bama, they're going to win. Here's the problem with that, though, and where I'm stuck of I can't decide who to pick. LSU can't run the ball. So that's what they do. They rely on the pass. And our secondary is kind of, I'm not going to say they're horrible, but the passing game has given us some issues this year. It's like I said, it's not bad. I'm not even going to say it's a work in progress. It's just still kind of there. I expected a lot more from him, but that's the hard part. And he can throw the ball. It really does our secondary show up. Right now, as of 9:37 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm leaning towards a close loss just because they're in Death Valley and I don't think this team is prepped for a 102,000 crowd. That's kind of where I'm at. And because they don't run the ball. If they were like Bama and run the ball, I'd be flipping that and saying, I think they have a shot. I think they have a shot if they do exactly what they did on Saturday. I think they have a chance. And that was perfection they had to do. If they don't do that, that's kind of where I'm at. So I think we lose by a touchdown.
Yeah.
But it's going to be something very close again. I think it could be 21-14.
Yeah, I can see this. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's blowout either way would shock me. I think it's
and here's the other stat that is not being really talked about as well, but I think it's something to circle. LSU's run defense is only in the lower 60s, upper 70s, depending on like what stats you use. They don't have a run defense, and with the emergence of Xavier Robinson, if the O-line can hold up, again, do what they did with Bama, and I'm not talking perfection, but give the lanes and stuff, they have a chance. They don't have to throw the ball then. They don't have to play catch up.
That's true.
Keep draining the clock, keep sitting on it. I think they have a good game plan going into it. And are they going to take the advantage of LSU being down as well? Like, because LSU is what Sean said, they're not really happy with their situation, and I think they're terrified.
Brian Kelly was getting. I mean, Brian Kelly. I think Brian Kelly. They went down early. Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly had to deal with some boo birds last.
Fire
week.
Brian Kelly. Fire. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
I think they're having some big buyer's remorse right now.
I mean, it's actually kind of funny how all three teams connected with Lincoln Riley like 4 years ago. No one's had. I mean, it's been. I'm happy with Brent. I'm mostly happy with Brent. I'll be happier if we win against LSU, But that's just kind of wild that all three teams are having their seasons from hell right now.
Exactly. No. And that's where I said, if there was an opportunity, now is that time. And does LSU get scared that what we just did to Bama, does that come into play as well? Does it change the game plan a whole lot?
I think.
And I'll be honest, I think Brent is more comfortable coaching because he's been in that environment.
I think it's gonna make LSU more focused, or at least but at the same time, they could be too tight and too jumpy because personally, I thought LSU was probably gonna mail it in this week. I don't think they're gonna mail it in as much now because they do want Kelly beating us because Kelly. It's one of those things where beating us won't totally help him, but he also needs to beat us.
Correct, and I don't know. I think Brent has the momentum on his side at the moment, but again, environment and how we have played, it's a hard situation. You know what I mean?
It's not great. It's not a great situation, but
yeah.
Right now, we'll deal with. We'll have to deal with it. So.
Correct. Right now, I'm leaning towards a loss, but I will be pleasantly surprised if they win. I'm not against it either way.
A win would not surprise me at all. Basically anything could happen in this game, and I'd be like, yeah, sure, I believe that.
I think the one thing that they cannot have happen is to basically get blown out. I think that would reverse the momentum you got from the Bama game and now start saying this was an anomaly. And I think we're still kind of in the era of was it an anomaly or not. But if you play respectfully with it, lose by a touchdown, minimize your mistakes, and if you just get beat because it's LSU and Death Valley, it is what it is for it. But that's kind of where I'm at. So everybody, thanks for joining tonight. I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you know when the channel updates or when we upload videos. Additionally, be sure to check out the previous videos and live streams as it helps bump the channel numbers up and helps the video algorithms in the search bar and or the after videos. Be sure to visit Sean's channel at Onikuno, youtube.com/Onikuno as well. Our next live stream is going to be Sunday, barring anything weird, either Sunday, December 1st or Monday, December 2nd, same time, same place at 8:00 p.m. As a reminder, we'll hold the post games either on those days, just depending on what everything looks like, as well as pregame and kind of some review of the season coming up starting Wednesday. So be sure to check the calendar and the upload times. So thanks again, everybody. Boomer Sooner, only one. Thanks, Swiggy, again and Sean and Gavin for joining tonight. I'll see everybody on the next live stream. Have a good Thanksgiving. Stay safe. Make good choices. Later.
Bye.